I look insane right now, but I want to do a story time about how I found out that I was R-worded or SA'd. If I'm laughing or smiling, it's not because I think it is fucking funny. I am just uncomfortable, okay? I've never fucking talked about this story, and it's a long one, okay? So, we'll start from the beginning. I can't remember the exact dates. I can't remember the exact time, like dates and ages, but I want to say I was like maybe 14. I think, if I could like maybe recall, I think I was 14, and there's this guy in our town. Let's call him Tim. Okay, that is a fake name. His name was not Tim, but we're gonna call him Tim. So Tim was known for trying to get with everybody. Okay, he was a serial cheater. He would constantly send nudes to girls. Looking back now, I see how much of a creep he was. But at the time, it was just him. That's just the type of person that he was. He tried to sleep with every single person in town. He did not care. And so I was good. I was like somewhat good friends with his sister. And so I like was around him often, because I was friends with his sister. And so he would try to get at me, and he would send me pictures on Snap, like nudes, and he would try to get at me, but for whatever reason I was not interested, so it never went anywhere, right? So then one night, fast forward, okay, that's just kind of the context. So one night, Tim was over at one of my friends' house. Let's call her Linda, okay? So fake name, but Tim was at Linda's house. He might have been there hanging out with her brothers, or he might have been hanging out with her. I don't know. It was just like one big friend group. It was a small town. So it was one big friend group. Everybody would kind of just hang out with everybody. And so Tim was at Linda's house, and for whatever reason, I wanted to do something that night. I wanted to hang out with people. So I invited Linda and Tim over to my house, okay? Because this was my thought process, okay? This should have been my first red flag, but I guess it wasn't. I was 14. I don't know. So my thought process was, if I invite Linda over and Tim comes with her, then everything should be fine because Linda will be there. Like I won't be alone with Tim. Linda will be with us, so everything should be good. That was my first red flag, okay? First red flag. So they come over. My mom and my brother are sleeping in the same house. So I sneak Tim and Linda into the house. We're hanging out in my room. For whatever reason, we decided to drink, okay? I was a crazy-ass fucking kid. I was a bad kid. That could be a whole different story time, okay? But we decided to drink, so we're drinking. And for whatever reason, I decided to chug the bottle that we had. So I'm chugging, and I kid you not, I instantly black out. Like, all I remember is Tim and Linda coming over to my house. We drink, that's it. After the chugging, I don't remember anything. I was gone, instantly blacked out. So this story is so fucking insane. I've never talked about this. So I'm blacked out for the rest of the night. No clue what happens. Next day, I wake up. How do I even go about this? I have to think how to word this TikTok appropriately. But so the next morning I wake up, and my mom and my brother basically find me in the doorway of my room. I was like laying on the ground in the doorway of my room with no clothes on. I think if I recall correctly, I only had on like a sock, maybe. I had on like one sock or some shit, no clothes. So that's really fucking weird, right? And I was on, this is just kind of random, but I was on the doormat, or like our front doormat. You know how like you have those doormats that you wipe your feet on or whatever? I was laying on that for whatever reason. I don't fucking know. And so I wake up, my mom tells me that like she found me in the fucking doorway of my room, no clothes, and that there was puke all over the bathroom. So that's all I know. Okay, that is all I fucking know. So I contact Linda. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? And I cannot remember all of these details for certain, but she basically tells me that this is what Linda told me, okay, about the night before. So we started drinking. I blacked out. At some point, I needed to go pee. So I leave my room. I go to the bathroom, and I'm in there for like a hot sec. I'm in the bathroom for quite a while. So Linda eventually has to pee. So she comes into the bathroom. She finds me asleep on the toilet. Like, I passed out on the toilet, and I think I had already thrown up like all over the bathroom at that point. And so she not knowing what to fucking do. She pushes me into the bathtub, and I'm still passed out. Like, I'm gone. I'm passed out. She pushes me into the bathtub, and then she goes pee or whatever. And then she goes back into my room, and she tells Tim, like, hey, Tim, she is passed out. She needs help. So then at that point, Tim goes into the bathroom to help me, and that's all we know. And then I wake up the next morning with no clothes on. So that's a little fucking weird, right? But at the time, I don't even think I investigated it further. I don't even think I asked Tim. I can't remember if I asked Tim what happened. I don't think I did. Because honestly, I just blamed myself. I told myself that I should have known better than to drink around Tim. And I just honestly blamed myself. As a girl, you can kind of, like, tell, you know, if someone's been in the cookie jar. I don't know how to say all this on TikTok. And, like, I just had that feeling the next day when I woke up. I just kind of knew what happened. But I never got confirmation. Because at that point, I really just didn't even want it, I guess. I was just like, whatever. This was my fault. I shouldn't have invited him over in the first place. Whatever. So, fast forward years after that, right? I am much older. I start an OF page. I am successful on OF. I start blowing up online. And one day, I am going through my OF messages, right? And somebody had sent me a video, which that's completely normal. That happens all the freaking time. But somebody sent me a video on OF. And for some reason, something about this video stuck out to me. I think I could, like, see the person's tattoos or something on their arm or something. Just something stuck out to me. And so I watched the video, like I do, and I turned the sound up. I don't know why I thought to do that, but I turned the sound up on the video, and the person in the video said my government name. They said my government name, and immediately I knew it was Tim. I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing on my page? Like, how fucking weird. Why are you here? And so I wanted him to admit that it was him. At the time, he had a girlfriend because, remember, he's a serial cheater. And at the time he had a girlfriend, I wanted him to admit that it was him. Eventually, he did. He told me it was him. And for whatever reason, I didn't block him at that point in time. I don't know why, but I'm glad that I didn't. Because you'll see why. So fast forward a few months after that. I'm not even sure how long after that it was. But I'm once again going through my page, going through OF, replying to messages, and I see a message from Tim. And you'll never fucking believe what this message says. The message said something along the lines of, "You're so hot. If I'm ever in town again, I would love to NUT in you again." Yeah. Stopped me right in my fucking tracks. I immediately replied, and I was like, what do you mean you want to NUT in me again? What do you mean again? You've never done it before. And he proceeds to tell me that the night that I blacked out, passed out, drunk, and threw up all over the bathroom and myself, he came in the bathroom to help me. And apparently, in his mind, in his words, I wanted to thank him for helping me. And so he then proceeded to take advantage of me and finish in me when I was unconscious and probably covered in puke. And that is how I found out. That is how I finally got the confirmation that he did, in fact, do that. He did, in fact, SA me. But honestly, still to this day, I blame myself because I should have known better. I should not have gotten intoxicated with Tim, with that person. And then fast forward a few years, I think it was like 2 or 3 years after this interaction that we had. Of course, I blocked him after that conversation. But a few years after that interaction that we had, he got arrested for SAing a girl that was unconscious, and he filmed it. So I have no clue if he also filmed me. I will never know. But he did film somebody else, and he got arrested. Lord knows how many people he did this to in our town, because I don't know, he was just seriously a creep. And that is how I found out that he did that.